In the early 2010s, six friends, Daniel, Joey, Daniel, Diego, Rick, and Rolly, drank a lot of beer together. Craft beer had recently gained the attention of the mainstream, with many new breweries emerging who pushed the envelope of artistry in the beer brewing world, and we loved every bit of it. We dove into craft beer culture as a group, cheerfully imbibing beers from San Antonio, Austin, Colorado Springs, Boston, Seattle, and countless other cities. Before long, a question arose in our collective minds. What about us? What about Brownsville? Brownsville had no beer to call its own, so neither did we. The solution? Make our own dang beer. In 2015, Joey and Daniel founded the Pluton Brewing Company, and we began work in earnest toward developing Brownsville's first native craft brewery. Today, after thousands of collective hours of study and practice, the Pluton Brewing Company is here to answer the call. We are Brownsville's first and only craft brewery, and it is our goal to put Brownsville craft beer on the map. And of course, we get right into things and talk about our beers. First up is one of our flagship beers, El Jefe Hefeweizen, a very, very delicious all-day beer, great for cookouts and asados. I especially like this one for the marinating of fajitas, very effective for that one. We also have our down-to-earth cream ale. It is themed with aguas frescas in mind. Of course, we are all Hispanic in this company, and that is very often reflected in our recipes. And the aguas frescas varieties that this cream ale comes in is nopal, prickly pear, RGB citrus, melon, and many more to come, honestly. Our Moon Juice IPA is always a fan favorite. It's a hazy India Pale Ale beer, very hazy. You can't even see light to it. And my personal favorite, Un Poco Coco Porter, rich and dark, perfect for Sunday merienda, and not terrible for a hangover, let me tell you. And of course, anytime we decide to make our beer, we use local ingredients and local flavor. There you see some locally grown and locally harvested fruits and vegetables that we have used in our recipes. And of course, those ingredients come from our allies, friends, and collaborators. Of course, some of them are on the business side of things. Others are on the ingredients side of things. On the business side of things, we have the Entrepreneurship and Commercialization Center at UTRGV. They adopted us this year, and we just could not be happier. Also, this last year in 2020, before the pandemic really got going, we got to participate in the Crossroads Festival, which was fantastic. We hope to participate in future ones. In the middle right there, you'll see us standing with Mr. Cactus himself from Monterrey. He is the man who makes us all of our organic nopal powder for our nopal cream ale. And on the right, you see a coffee beer combination made by our good friend Rafa at Spirit Fruit Company. And of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the 5x5 Brewing Company. They've become our big brothers and our new best friends. We have been collaborating with them a great deal over the course of the last several months. And we actually have a beer set to premiere with them just in a couple of days here called the Space Gunner Coconut Porter. And it is one of my favorite beers that I've ever made. And I'm really pleased with how it came out. I can't wait till you guys have a try on that. Follow us on social media. Actually, we'll get a chance to do that in a little bit to see when you can get a chance to taste that delectable beer. So right now we can't sell our beer for money until we have our tap room open. So once our kegs are full, what happens to all that beer? Basically, we throw a party and give it all away. We distribute about 300 12-ounce pours per event at $4 per pour, which is quite competitive. We're talking about $1,200 per every event. We've had 25 events so far, so that is a value of about $30,000 that we've just given away because we're so excited about sharing our beer with our friends, family, and community. Our new 5-barrel system that we hope to buy with StartUp Texas funds would allow for up to 450 kegs monthly or 24,000 pours per month. I'll let you do the math there. Of course, job creation will be a very big part of what the Pluton Brewing Company is about. We will have a direct employment staff of a 6-man production team, many of whom you see in the pictures right now. 1 sales manager, 1 general manager, and 5 to 10 employees on our floor staff. And of course, this is just our direct employment. There will also be other ways that we impact the local economy in the rent we pay, in the taxes we pay, and in the contractors we hire to build our awesome place. Let's have a look at our history and where we've been and where we're going. In 2015, obviously, Joey and Daniel founded the Pluton Brewing. In 2016, we completed our team, and practice makes perfect, so we started making lots and lots of beer. The focus really being to perfect the craft and really earn the title of craft brewery, okay? In 2017, we developed enough confidence in our product to start sharing with the community, and we started hosting pop-up events and community outreach, and we continued our R&D, and that theme continued through 2018 and 2019. And in 2020, everything came to a screeching halt for reasons everybody remembers. We had a pandemic. And this year in 2021, we have hit the ground running with our extensive collaborations with 5x5 Brewing and our goal to secure funding for a location to eventually open for business in 2022, hopefully expanding to wide distribution, brand expansion, and continued community education in 2023. So how will we use the Startup Texas funds? Well, I mentioned it briefly a few seconds ago. We hope to expand production to a 5-barrel system with a 10-barrel production capacity. This will allow for a brewing capacity of up to 70 barrels per month, or once again, 2,000 gallons or more. With a projected water efficiency of 90% or better, this system will serve as a model for sustainable production in the community. In-house water filtration purification can provide clean water to the community in emergency situations. Now, our total available market, this part might be a little talky, but the beer industry represents about $29.9 billion of revenue annually with 3 dominant operators. And I bet you can guess what 3 brands those are. Now, the beer industry as a whole has seen a general decline over the last 5 years, but that might be deceptive because craft breweries within that market have been expanding exponentially. The rise of craft breweries has come up to 16.6%, which means that about 1 in every 6 beers that is sold is a craft beer. And small regional breweries have experienced significant growth. So while revenue is expected to decline in the whole beer industry, it masks the growth that we're experiencing in craft brewers. Okay, now our goal is to sell our beer and branded merchandise in-house and establish our branded products in bars and restaurants throughout the greater Brownsville area. That's this year. Upon implementation of our 5-barrel system, the Pluton Brewing will have a brewing capacity of 70 barrels per month once again, and our current half-barrel system will be repurposed for our ultra-premium, super high-end, limited-release Galaxy-class craft line. We will also, of course, have in-house kegging systems for distribution at restaurants, bars, and other tap rooms. Now, competition, well, there currently is no competition among craft breweries in Brownsville. There's no breweries within 20 miles of the Brownsville city limits. There are 5 breweries in the greater Rio Grande Valley, but given that every single one of them is a 20-minute ride or longer away, it's not exactly practical for an Uber ride. So the lack of craft breweries in Brownsville leaves us with little local competition. We're still the only game in town. We hope to be the first out of the gate. Now, let's talk really quickly about craft beer and how it's inclusive and not exclusive, okay? An exclusive beer drinker chooses one beer, and that is all they drink. A craft beer enthusiast wants to try as many different varieties as possible. This makes other breweries, even the ones that may occupy the same market space as ours, more allies than competitors. The more beer we have in Brownsville, the more craft beer people will seek out. Now, our sources of income include on-site beer sales directly to the customer, pints, flights, pours, and cans. We got them. Branded merchandise, many examples of which you can see right there on the table. Local bars and restaurants. We, of course, have forged strong working relationships with Terras, El Hueso del Fraile, Dodici, The Flying Pig, El Santuario, and Shot Republic. Other sources of income include brewery tours and pop-up events. If you are having a wedding and you and your spouse would like to have your own custom beer with both of you featured on the label, we can make that happen. We also will be hosting local music, art, and cultural events. And, of course, we'll be making our beer available nationwide through internet-based nationwide delivery service Tavor, okay? We do have a robust social media presence. The Pluton Brewing Company currently has about 1,000 followers on Facebook, and that is echoed on our Instagram and Snapchat pages. So let's talk about Brownsville then and now. When Brownsville was a young city, it was very separated geographically from the rest of the country, and the idea was to bring the rest of the world to Brownsville. All the craft beer we enjoy in Brownsville that came from elsewhere to us. So there's no beer native to Brownsville. Our inspiration stems from the drive to flip that narrative. You know, we used to want to bring the national brands to Brownsville, and we were successful in that. But now we want Brownsville beers to be sent out to the world. The people of Brownsville, ourselves included, deserve to experience craft beer that is entirely theirs from grain to glass. The rest of the country deserves to have a taste of what makes Brownsville a special place. The Pluton team came together to make this a reality. We want Brownsville to be on the border, by the sea, in your cup, and beyond the stars.
Oh, I did it.
Thank you once again, Mr. Rick Presas from Pluton Brewing Company. Just the voice alone makes you want to crack a cold one right now. With that said, we're going to go ahead and open up the Q&A session of this presentation. Judges, feel free to ask away your questions.
I am here with fellow owners, Joey Martinez on this side and Daniel on that side. So any questions you have will be answered by any one of the three of us.
Looks like Chris is muted. Just a quick reminder.
Okay, that was just me.
Oops, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent job. That was really well done. I definitely want to try the El Jefe Hefeweizen for sure. I was being a little snarky. I was asking if your team actually produces more beer than you drink.
I don't think he can hear.
Oh, there you go. I can hear you now.
Like Rick is having some audio issues here. Rick, if you can hear us, you are on mute at the moment.
Nathan, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you catch that last question?
I haven't heard anybody's question yet.
I am so sorry. I can't hear you, but I was
Me neither.
trying to give you some kudos. That was a great presentation.
Miss Krista, I think she might be on mute.
So hopefully you guys can hear me. But when do you think you'll be in a position to actually start some commercial sales?
Hopefully this year. Again, because of the nature of Texas,
We can't hear you.
Alcohol sales law, we can't actually sell our beer for profit until we are licensed and have our tap room up and running. Because of that, it creates kind of catch-22 of we can't sell our beer for money until we have a place, and we don't have the opportunity to have a place until we have our money. So that kind of creates the catch-22 situation with our licensing and our ability to sell our beer for profit.
So what kind of runway do you have right now? I mean, are you at risk if it doesn't happen until September?
I'm sorry, could you please repeat that question?
Yeah, just want to get an idea of your runway. Meaning, if you can't open the tap room until like the third or fourth quarter, does that put you more at risk?
Well, it can, but right now, because of our collaboration with 5x5 Brewing Company, we can actually use, because we're brewing with them, we can actually use their licensing for the beers we make with them. So for the time being, that'll have to do until we have our appropriate licensing and our tap room open. But once our tap room gets open, we hope to be able to hit the ground running as far as sales of our product goes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this may sound like a silly question, and maybe I missed it in your presentation, but what's stopping you from getting it? Is it just capital?
Pretty much, that is it. The brewing system that we showed you guys that we hope to purchase with our startup funds is mighty expensive. So is our water treatment equipment. So will the lease of our storefront. These things we are currently self-funded. The four owners, myself, Daniel, and Joey. We finance the entire company ourselves right now, and as such, we are limited with what we can do.
If you're referring to the actual sale of our product that we're currently brewing at the moment, the reason why we can't sell it is because we need to be licensed by TABC in order to be able to sell our product for profit. And we can't be licensed with TABC if we don't have our brick and mortar location. Right now, we're doing it from my garage at my house, which is a residential area, which is also about 100 yards away from an elementary school. So we can't necessarily get our license, and be able to sell our product with the location that we're using right now. So hopefully with future investments, we're able to get a location so that we can perform that.
How much capital do you need to actually open up the tap room?
We're estimating about $300,000 to $350,000 capital to get our doors open.
And what does the market size look like in Brownsville and in the 20-mile radius right now?
Well, once again, we are the only game in town in Brownsville, or we will be the only game in town once we open. Brownsville is a major metro in the area. It's actually the biggest metropolitan area in the Rio Grande Valley, which itself is one of the larger metropolitan areas in South Texas. we have a lot of people in Brownsville, ourselves included, who are really excited at the idea of having our own brewery. Joey?
Another thing we have going for us is, we have our convenience stores, we have our HEBs, we have our gas stations, we have our bars, we have our restaurants that have openly stated, when are we going to open so that we can have your beer here? There's the market actually is more untapped than you would think. We're kind of underselling where we can sell. It's just a huge open market to where we can have our beer distributed. And that's not including our tap room, where we can have our beer itself, where people can come to us and drink.
Is Trey getting audio? So while Mr. Trey is working on his audio connection, do any of the rest of y'all have any questions for us about how we're going to go about doing what we hope to do in the city?
Well, I guess my question has to do with sustainability of the model. If you don't get the tap room open, I mean, do you have opportunities to expand the volume that you're doing with other microbreweries?
Yeah. Well, so one thing that we do have a advantage of is that we could have it's called contract brewing.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have been talking to other breweries here that would be happy to have small batches of what we do. Of course, we can't really interfere too much in their large batch stuff, but for the time being, if we do get a license to do contract brewing, we can do 1 barrel batches, which are about 30 gallons per batch, and be able to sustain ourselves in that way. And something else that we found, a little hidden gem in, is that people like wearing our stuff. People like, representing our stuff. So we have lots of merch. We have lots of hats. We have lots of.
It sells out very quickly. We have a very loyal grassroots fan base.
So can I order a hat online?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
We'll get that going up quick.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Watch for my order coming in.
Make sure we get your size, sir.
All right, awesome, guys. We are experiencing some technical difficulties with audio with one of our judge members from our panel. We do have just time for one more question. If anybody from our judging panel would like to ask away, right now is the time.
So right now, just so I'm clear, you are, so pre-COVID, you were doing events and things like that. Is that correct?
Yes,
okay. And that has been able to sustain your business and since 2015, is that correct?
We started as a brewing company in 2015.
Okay.
We didn't, early on it was there's a lot of work that you have to do.
Like you are on mute, Rick.
Obvious brewer. Am I on mute?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay. There's a whole lot of work involved. There's a very wide line between being a hobbyist brewer and a craft brewer. Okay. And 2015, 2016, 2017 were largely spent honing our craft and getting good at brewing beer. We started in earnest working toward opening in around 2018, 2019, and of course 2020 derailed everything.
And our investment has mainly been outreach. We want people to try the beer. We want people to experience the beer. And we want people to meet us and know that they're getting something from, locals.
Again, a grassroots campaign is what we've been about for the last year, for the last several years, and we've developed a very loyal fan base. People really, really do love coming out to try our wares.
Excellent.
Excellent. Well, that concludes our Q&A for this section. Thank you so much, Pluton Brewing Company. We are going to jump into a 10-minute commercial break. So
thank you, Dave.
Hang on tight. We're going to go ahead and jump into this intermission, and we'll jump in right back into our next presentation.
Did you know this